Squeeze the Neck podcast with my new mate, Danny Mclaren.
How
Did I say that right?
Good. That's right.
I've only seen it written.
Ollie, yeah, Danny Mclaren.
Good.
Yeah.
I've been all about butchering names recently. We're at a secret location in London.
Yeah.
And as I say, Danny Mclaren, tell us who you are, mate, before we get started.
I'm Danny Mclaren. I have DKM Promotions, DKM Plush Boxing, and a couple of boxing gyms. One in West London and one be opening soon in Southwest London. So, yeah.
It's all going on, mate.
It's all going on. It's all happening. Yeah.
So we met before, right, at the Nigel Benn Day, which was, when was that? It was a while back now.
Yeah, that was. We done one at West London. We done one in Kingston, weren't it? It was at you was at the.
I was at the Kingston one, that's right,
which was 2 months ago now.
2 months ago, was it that much? Yeah,
2 months
time
ago.
flies.
Yeah.
But that was obviously a good day, wasn't it?
Very good.
I tell you what I liked about that one. Someone just asked me actually before, the young lad over there. I forget his name. He's told me 3 times. We won't mention it, but he's asked me about how it was run and stuff like that. And you go to different ones that are different, isn't it? Like some. And we've all been to some that just, not there's anything wrong with it, but some just sort of pump you through a sweaty workout.
Yeah.
This one was very much like an enjoyable one.
100%. Nigel makes it enjoyable.
Get on the pads.
So he's very good at it. Where a lot of the guys that we get down, they haven't done it before, so they don't know how to run one. Where Nigel's sort of a dab hand at it. His interaction's great with people. He'll do the pads, he'll do everything. Where the last one we done, Daniel Dubois, obviously massive fight coming up, and he's not the most talkative guy, but he was there. People wanted to see him before this big fight that he had the weekend just gone, actually. So, so that was a good one. But he weren't allowed to do the pads with people in case of an injury 6 weeks before the fight.
I thought I was going to injure him by the time.
Yeah, I know.
I take the point.
But but Nigel is always one of the best. Right. One of the best.
And Nigel is, like, I know everyone says it, but it was just like you when you see him on tape. But he was exactly how you expect him to be when he,
100%.
He was, very much.
He's good as gold.
By the way, nice. He said he was 61, I think, nearly 62.
Looking good for 61.
Looks like he's about 40, doesn't he? Strong as a bull.
Looking very good.
But let's go back a bit further, mate, because you said you're from Fulham originally, off camera. To me, tell us about how you got involved in the boxing game.
So, just growing up, Dad took us to boxing gyms. My brothers boxed better than me, to be honest. I was very lazy. So, had a couple of bouts, went to school in Kingston, actually. So, I ended up going Kingston Boxing Club. And I was too lazy to be a boxer or anything. So, our brothers done better, much better. They boxed Dalyu, Fellsfield, Foley.
They boxed Elsfield?
And Kingston,
Who's your brother's name?
Connor McLaren. He's the one that boxed Elsfield, but he only boxed there for a little while. He was at Dalyu.
Okay, how old
my
your
family
brother
moved
be?
to Surrey. Connor is 29, 32.
32.
Roughly.
In my age range, I'm a bit older, but
I've got 7 brothers and sisters, so you probably saw him down there training. He went at Elsfield long, he went down youth, then he went out Mull Valley, where he lives. As I say, I was lazy, so I ended up, I was always involved in boxing, new people in boxing, and then I got a phone call one day about, do you want to do Mike Tyson? A show, Mike Tyson coming over, do you want to do a show with Mike Tyson? And being a naive 19-year-old or 18-year-old, I was like, yeah, of course I will. Had to find me and my 3 mates. I roped them in on it, and we decided to do Mike Tyson in Chesterton. We done our nuts on it, but we met Mike Tyson, and that got me a little bit of the buzz to promote. And what happened? I actually, a couple of years later, I had a daughter who. She got brain damage at birth, so we had to get treatment abroad. So we had to go to Canada, we had to go to America, and it was costing like £12,000 every trip. So I had to do something to sort of fundraise for that. And I thought, what do I know? Boxing. My mate had Roberta Duran over, and I was like, I put on a show in Kingston in the Oceana nightclub. It was at the time. And we only had, thinking about it now, it was a joke, the show. We had 5 fights, 10 fighters, 4 of them pulled off the street, 3 of them ran. But we done well. We had a good night. We had Roberta Duran, Tim Witherspoon as judges. Everyone turned up for it, and we raised some money, and I sent my little girl to Canada for treatment. And it ended up going like that. And that's how I initially got into the boxing promoting. And just progressed from there, doing evenings with famous boxers, opening a gym, and then and just going through it like that. Yeah, it's just all progressed.
It's a bit mad that the Mike Tyson story when you're 18, 19.
Yeah, I got the phone call.
How old are you now, mate, for context?
38 now.
38, so we're talking 20 years ago. So Mike Tyson, was he still fighting then? Or was he
he'd probably done a comeback. But no, he's not allowed in the country now to do tours, so we have to go Ireland to do them now. But so I'm good friends with Spencer Brown, who you might see. He's he runs Gold Star, so he's the big guy in the UK who brings over most of these guys, and I'm sort of his London guy who, when someone comes to London, he'll say, do you want to do this with us? And I'll promote the London show. That's cool. Yeah, unfortunately Mike Tyson can't come anymore, but obviously the last 2 Tyson Furies I've done with Spencer, and yeah, hopefully there's another big one on the card soon.
That's cool.
We
can't talk about it yet, but we'll get there. Maybe that's part 2. We're getting
exactly,
part 2. But like, with like Mike Tyson stuff, you say he's not allowed in the country. Is that just indefinitely? He can't come in?
Yes, there's been appeals. Everyone's trying to get him back. And trust me, if anyone could get him back in the country, it'd be Spencer and Gold Star.
He still can't get him back.
And he can't get back, so he has to do these shows now in Ireland.
That's mental, that, isn't it?
Which sells out. Everyone from the UK travels to Ireland to meet him.
Yeah.
And and Paris as well. He's doing one in Paris, but he can't do the UK,
which is shit. Because I tell you what, I know this sort of first hand, if you like, because I had tickets years ago to his one-man show. Do you remember he was doing his one-man show? I think it was at Hammersmith or whatever, and they pulled it a couple of weeks before because of that. They were trying to get him in the country, couldn't get him in. Which is all nonsense.
Yeah, and it's from an old, obviously the old rape charge he had. Yeah. That's why he's not allowed back in.
What's mad about that is he's fought here since that, hasn't he? And
of course he has.
Of course he has.
And the rules changed, and listen, no one knows if he's guilty or not guilty as well. Like it's madness. No, I won't get into the politics of it, but yeah, it's such a shame. Like, someone who's been in the country as well 10 times since. Do you know what I mean? More than that.
Honest, like, can you imagine if Mike Tyson came to London?
It'd be massive again, wouldn't it?
I think he'd be bigger than anyone. Like, you know, I don't think people realise that if he came, he'd be bigger than you know.
Well, he's a movie star now, and he's a business owner. He's a podcast star. He's everything, and. We had Floyd Mayweather, which again Gold Star brought over, and I'd done a London show with them. We'd done that at York Hall, and that was great. But I just think Tyson will do double what Floyd does. Do you know what I mean?
In terms of how much people like, what would the word be? Like him, appreciate him, hold him in high esteem. He's on another level to Floyd.
Yeah, the thing is with football, boxing now as well. It's who are celebrities. He's a celebrity. He's been in the movies and that. Floyd Mayweather, he's not a celebrity as such, so the women won't go. If you're into boxing, you know who he is, but it's the people who are not into boxing who they know who he is. If they do, then he's a big star and he'll do big numbers.
And across the board, really, I think like Mike Tyson is like everyone loves him, don't they? You know what I mean? Everyone's sort of warm to him. Versus Floyd, like there's a lot of people that are into boxing that still go, fuck Floyd, don't they? You know what I mean?
100%. Who don't like him. With Tyson, even though how he was a heavyweight as well, which helps.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah. But also,
and a knockout artist.
His attitude, his story, how he grew up, everyone relates to him. There's been untold movies about or documentaries about his life. People know who Mike Tyson is. Yeah. So that's the difference with it.
That's it. Yeah. So we're going to start a petition to get Mike back in the country.
I think we've tried. I think we've done about I think we've done about 10 petitions so far.
Oh, have you?
I don't think he's got in. Yeah, it's real.
And it still can't get him over.
Yeah, no. It's been in Parliament, everything. But I say, it's more important people than me trying to get him in there. But I don't think no one has succeeded.
Not yet. We're
getting
maybe
one day.
DKM
Plush, 100%. Yeah.
But like as you said, you started promoting like 18 years old. Like let's be honest, 18, 19. That's a kid. Was that quite hard? Because a lot of people were probably looking at you going, "Fuck, do you know?"
Yeah, and they were like, "Is this even going to happen?"
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Is this happening? Me and my 3 mates come together to do it. They never done it before. Everyone knows who Mike Tyson. Everyone wants to do Mike Tyson. So they were up game for it. And to say it weren't our most successful night. Yeah. It was a good night when he was here, but I mean, ticket-wise. He was silly money. We had to do tickets at silly money, and obviously we never knew how to promote it. We just thought everyone would hear about it and come. But it was a good learning curve. But listen, they dropped out. I stuck by and done more. So
What was he like in person, Mike Tyson? What was he like?
Very quiet. You don't want to upset him. You can tell he's got a streak about him that you want to please him. Yeah, you want to. He can switch, I think, straight away. But he just goes with the flow. He's always getting hassled. I think that gets to him a little bit. But you watch yourself around him because you know he can switch any second.
But you see videos online all the time of like idiots today.
Yeah.
You know, if you dealt with that, if me and you dealt with that like for a week,
it'd
be a pain, right?
I was in Canastota at the Boxing Hall of Fame one year, and it was coming out of there was a bar there everyone used to go to, and he was drinking in the bar, but he was mobbed on the way out.
Yeah.
And we all got booted out at like 1 a.m, and I'm standing behind, but we're all walking out, and everyone's sticking pens in his face. There was about 30, 40 people. He's turned around, thought it was me, and switched on me.
Did he?
Yeah.
That might be the best story.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson switching.
So yeah, he turned around and went, "What are you doing?" And I went, I stood my ground. I went, "It's not me. What are you on about?" But yeah, I never wanted to. Yeah.
Good on you for staying there.
Yeah,
a lot of people would have gone, nothing.
Yeah, and all these people like reaching over, and I was just getting out. I never had no pen in my hand or anything.
Because apparently he's quite short as well, isn't he? So like,
Yeah,
if
he
there's
is,
big
yeah.
people around him touching him, like, he's overwhelmed.
Yeah,
with it,
exactly.
you know what I mean?
For a heavyweight as
Yeah.
well, he's about 5'11", I reckon, 5'10".
Yeah,
Yeah,
people say
for a
that.
heavyweight, that's small, but obviously there's a lot of bigger people around than him. So when you're leaning over him, he's getting up more.
That's what I mean. He feels a bit.
Yeah,
like it's
exactly.
On him, you know what I mean?
So,
but he's
but
that's
yeah.
my boxing hero. So like next time you get Mike Tyson in the country,
Yeah,
you let me
yeah,
know. Or
yeah.
even in Ireland, I come over
Yeah,
Ireland.
yeah.
That'd suit me.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, like you're putting on shows like. Where's the next shows and stuff like that coming, mate?
So we're in the Bowlers in Manchester on August the 9th. That's quite a big show. We've got the return of James DeGale on it. Lucas Brown, the old heavyweight from Australia, he's on it. And there's a lot of TikTokers and influencers on that one. Then we're in Wakefield, September the 6th, and we're just about to announce Crystal Palace Arena and our big show at the end of the year in November, where you'll see a lot of familiar faces from pro boxing, amateur boxing.
Right.
And of course the influencer game now,
Right.
which everyone wants to be part of, including the pros and the amateurs now. But so that's the next 3 we got planned probably for the rest of the year.
Nice. And like with one of them shows, James DeGale, you said is the main
James
event.
DeGale,
is he?
yeah. So
And he's coming back, is he?
listen, he's coming back. He's in phenomenal shape for his age, and considering how long he's been out the ring, and he's going to come back and he's going to fight whoever wants it, really. I mean, he's looking for bigger platforms than us, but obviously I work closely with James, so he's going to come on here and just have a warm-up, basically. Then it looks like he's been offered BKFC, might go on Misfits, that sort of thing. Qatar, yeah. So him and, I don't know if you saw the last show, him and Matty Floyd
I did.
had a little set too.
Well, I was at the fight the other night. So we were filming this just after the Usyk Dubois fight.
Yes.
I was sat near him. I was speaking to him the other night. I met him on the fight week as well, Matty. So
Oh,
I
you
was-
met
I was
Matty, did
chatting
you?
to him,
Yeah, yeah.
Just sort of like,
Yeah.
I think the first day, not the weigh-in day, it was the open workout
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
all
yeah.
that kind of stuff. And then I just happened to be sitting close enough, and I saw him sort of at Wembley as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, nice fella.
He's a really nice
really
guy,
nice
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Talk about doing a podcast, Matty. Hopefully we get you on, mate.
He'll come on, he'll come
and like he was talking about it and stuff like,
Yeah.
which is, listen, James DeGale, especially back in his day, was a massive name. wasn't he?
He's
You
a
know what I mean?
massive. Do you know what? He signed for, I think, Al Heyman out in America. So we never really. He went under the radar a little bit in the UK. Boxing fans know him, but he went out to America and had them great fights with Badu Jack and everyone.
Road Warrior, they called him for a
Yeah.
while, didn't
So, and where really, if he was in the UK, he'd have been a household. He would have had the Wembley fights. He would have had the Cole Frock fight.
That's it.
But he's back now, and he's looking for them fights. He's looking for the Cole Frocks.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, he'll fight anyone.
And how old's James now? 40-ish?
38, 39.
Yeah, so he's not too old.
He's
got
39,
some
he's
time.
pushing 40 now.
He's got some time, so...
And he's in phenomenal shape.
Right, well, that's what I'm
And,
saying, because like 38, 40, 42, that sort of age, like if you look after yourself, that's not that old now,
No,
is it?
exactly. And listen, he's still got his wits about him. He's not fighting for money. He's fighting because the end of his career, he was disappointed how it ended. He was fighting with injuries. He weren't on it as much. He sort of lost the love. And he just wants to come back and prove everyone, show everyone how good he is. Do you know what I mean? Ty Mitchell's...
So this is a proper comeback. This is not just a one-off money grab.
No, he's not about the money at all. It's just to prove a point. So you got Ty Mitchell knocking everyone out on Misfits, Ty Mitchell, Clifton. That's a perfect fight for James.
right.
It's an ugly fight, 2 southpaws going at it, but James will show levels on that. Do you know what I mean? So he's trying to get that fight, and he's and there's other fights out there for him. Like a few big American names have popped up. So
Hush, hush, wink,
wink. But obviously he's not going to be pro, so it's just getting the right promotion to put it on. Obviously, they're going to want to be paid for it as well. But BKFC is an option. They've made them offer to fight Matty Floyd on BKFC. So, that could happen this year. Soon, which is interesting.
BKFC, as we sat here now, we've got Tyler Goodjohn sort of in the building, sitting over there. He's getting ready to fight Paulie Malignaggi, bare knuckle. But like, bare knuckle's no joke, is it? Like,
No.
Now, here's the thing, before we get into that, because I want to get into it. Now, it's more brutal sort of on the surface, but I actually think it's probably safer for you. health-wise than boxing. Firstly, you've got shorter rounds.
Yeah.
It's less rounds. You're not taking such a pound into the head. And also, if I'm hitting you with my bare fist, I've got to worry about that.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I can't
consciously
load up.
you're
So I
thinking,
think it's probably for your brain health. It's probably safer. Not for your face, not for your teeth.
No.
All that kind of
No,
stuff.
not for-
But in terms of like sitting there shitting your pants, looking off at the
You
distance
know,
when you're
yeah.
80, it's probably
You know when you're boxing, you're fighting a good boxing, a good level.
Yeah.
You're getting constant jabs,
Constant.
jab. I always believe that's worse for you than
100%.
a big heavy.
That's what I'm
That's
getting
why the heavyweights tend to be a lot. They don't go as punchy as the lightweight because they're not taking as much constant jabs. A big knockout will knock a heavyweight out. And they say that's safer. Listen, I'm no doctor, but...
What? You're not a doctor?
No, I'm not a doctor, but...
I would have done this with you.
Yeah. But I believe that's a lot safer than taking one big punch, in constant jabs, especially the lighter weights. They're jabbing, especially in the amateurs, in the pros, where they're high level as well. The constant jabs, I believe that's where them BKFC. Yeah, I mean, you have to do a medical study, but I believe that.
I think so. And it's like the argument with MMA as well. I think MMA is safer than boxing by far because if someone goes down and gets bad, it's over. Whereas
It's not
standing 8 counts. I know everyone says it. I'm not breaking news, but standing 8 counts.
I believe the skill level for boxing now, especially at lightweights, is so high now. It is more where, like you say, MMA and that it can be one knee to the head or one big elbow or something, and you're out. Do you know what I mean? Where obviously boxing's, I believe it's more of an art, more of a skill form now rather than fighting. And it's all the constant jabs to the head which you're trying to get, which would do the damage. But
that's interesting. And with like James DeGale, has James DeGale got interest, is he, in the bare knuckle? He's thinking about that.
Listen, he's not. He wants to do. He's a boxer.
Right.
But obviously this beef with Matty Floyd's got a bit out of hand now, and he'll fight him any time, he said.
Where's this come from? Where's this beef with Matty Floyd come from?
Do you know what? I think Matty Floyd called him out, apparently. Just said
it's as simple as that?
Yeah, as simple as that, and then they had a little head-to-head, didn't they? And it got a little bit, everyone's proved like, I'll beat you. But then once Matty flew through the water, right, and James went for it, do you know what I mean? So,
because I'll tell you another thing with James DeGale, I've seen him years ago, he was at Elsfield, he come down for some sparring, it was probably like pre-camp for his George Groves fight, like back in the day I was at the George Groves fight, and George Groves, another one falls in this bracket, that for the weight are fucking enormous, like for the weight they used to fight at.
They are,
Matty Floyd, not that he's a small guy by any means, but he looks like he's about that weight. He looks
like
he
looks that way,
Is there a size difference between the two? Because again, I've seen James DeGale 10
in
plus
the
years
ring,
ago.
I think Matty's quite tall. Matty's quite
right?
big but then when I stand with James, I think considering you're a super middleweight or your career, he's very tall, but he's in such good shape, James. Do you know what I mean, as well. But he don't hold much weight. So they're probably weighing the same, Matty and James. But George is another one who's big for the size as well. And
George, the first time I saw George in person, I mean, was like, how the fuck do you get even close to that weight?
It shows you how much they cut down over camp and that. It shows you how much they.
Unbelievable. Because George Groves, like if you see him now, he might be. I don't think he's missing many meals. Shout out George Groves. I'm not digging you out, mate. But he's but he's a natural big man. Like he's a proper. Off top of my head, he's probably 6'1"-ish. Long arms, big frame. If I saw him just in person, I would. And someone said he was a boxer, I would have assumed he used to fight at cruiserweight.
Yeah, 100%. I get that.
100%.
Yeah, it's the same. It shows you what they put their bodies through during camp and how small they can get their bodies down to. Do you know what I mean?
George Groves must have weighed 12 stone for about fucking 30 seconds and then rehydrate.
Yeah, exactly.
But coming back to the DKM shows and stuff, you said you got 3 for the end of the year. What's sort of an ideal future for you, if you like, in the sort of near future, going into sort of we're 2025 now, you've got 3 shows left. 2026, what's that look like for you? Is this onwards and upwards?
We're just growing. So now we're getting obviously bigger names want to fight, and we'll always stick with our core fighters and that. But then we have a few big names, ex-pros want to get on, and I just want to make exciting fights. And people say there's not a space. Like a lot of amateurs, you'll know this. A lot of amateurs, they don't have time for the white collar unlicensed scene, but we fill a void. Like if, for example, how old are you now?
When that's on, I'm 21, but in reality, I'm almost 35.
So I mean, if you wanted to fight again, you just got the itch for it trained, what would you do? You can't go pro at your age, really. You can't go amateur again, amateur serious boxing. You got a full time. If you just wanted to dust your gloves off and have one of your training, there's a market for it. And we're getting a lot of I don't agree with young people really going into it. If they want a future in boxing, they should go straight into the amateurs. But where we are now, we're getting ex-amateurs who don't want to take boxing so seriously anymore. We've got ex-pros who, people like Tyler, who's been out of the game for 5 years, who've got itchy knuckles and just want to do it, maybe to lose weight, maybe for their mental health, maybe for anything, and they just want to have another go, and that's bringing our levels really up now. So if you come to some of our shows, we'll still have our novices who've been boxing for 10 weeks, 12 weeks, but then we'll have ex-pros, or we'll have these influencers who take it seriously, train every day. And I mean, we had Kane Colby, do you remember him from Elsfield?
Kane. I've known Kane since he was probably 10. You know what I mean?
He's had 4 or 5 on our show.
Has he really? I didn't know this.
Yeah,
he's Kane, I hope you're well. I know him, his dad, the whole lot.
He's our, what's he, lightweight champion, something like that. Super lightweight he is.
How old's Kane's got to be, sort of approaching 30 himself now, isn't he?
He's only 26.
26?
Yeah, he must be.
Play the game, mate.
But he's someone who I was always trying to push to. He should go pro. He was that good, Kane.
Well, he was going to go pro when I last. I've seen him around and stuff, but the last time I saw him to sort of talk to, he would have probably been, if he's 26 now, probably sort of late teens, 20, and he was talking he was like, I'm going to go pro. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So it's obviously
he goes in spurts, Kane, and he trains and he'll want to fight. Then he'll get out of rhythm and have to work and stuff like that. But he's someone who I'd love to keep in the gym and then actually turn pros. He's good enough. I've always thought he's sort of wasted at this level. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting.
He's young enough and he's got the talent enough to do something in boxing. Do you know
you said I'm not young enough. Is that I'm too old?
You're probably too old now to go pro.
You're fucking out of order, you are, mate. At
35, you'd have to train. You'd have to be your life again. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. But here's the thing.
Amateurs.
But here's the thing, and not specific to me or anyone. I think 35, if, like you said, if you're dedicated and you're into it, 35 ain't old now.
No.
Whereas if you're not,
dedicate your life to it. That's the thing.
It's responsibilities outside the ring for people. Because a lot of people that are 35 might be married, 3 kids,
mortgages,
So that's the trap they fall into.
100%.
And for your outlet, is it? But one thing, I've never been to one of your shows yet, but I'm going to be at all 3.
We'll
figure that out. We'll figure that one out. But from what I've heard, and listen, it's not just I've heard from silly bollocks down the pub. The people I'm hearing from is you do it right, it's fair, it's right. Because we've all been to white collar shows where there's a geezer in there who's looks like a top amateur, who's like you said, had 5 years off and just fancy getting back in it. He's in there with a geezer who's had 3 white collar bouts and he face plants him.
And that's what gives white collar boxing a bad name, because you've got so many bad shows. There was a show at Kingston not long ago, a kid got seriously hurt, put in a coma.
On a white collar show?
Yeah, on a white collar show. And listen, it could happen any show. It could have been a fair match. I don't know too much about it. It could have been a fair match. Paramedics were there. But I mean, the most important thing with this sort of level is getting the matching right. And obviously I've matched in amateurs, in pros. So I've got a good understanding more than most at this level. Where some of these shows, they just see a weight, they go with them. Do you know what I mean? They don't know if they go with amateurs, how many fights they've had, and the matching is so bad on so many of these shows, it gives it a bad name.
You've got to be careful with it, and also I think it's too far. It just comes down to being having some dignity. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'll give you an example. About 2 years ago now, I'll keep it vague, but I was offered a bout on a white collar show, right? And now listen, I'm not patting myself on the back and saying I'm the big I am, but the geezer they wanted me to box was the same weight as me, but about 6 inches short, a fat belly, never boxed before, and I just thought
what's the point? What are you going to achieve?
The promoter, I already don't want to box on your show because you're a scumbag. Do you know what I mean? You're a fucking why would you do that?
A lot of it, money rules there. Our outlay is mental. What we bring in, we outlay. So we're not. If you checked our books, we wouldn't be a massive profitable organisation. But we outlay everything. So we'll have a doctor there. We'll have 3 medics instead of 2. So just little stuff like that, where other promotions would be more concerned about lining their pockets. We will outlay that and make it a better experience for the fighters.
Yeah, and in the long run, that helps everything, I think.
Of course it does.
Because
people
that feeds
see
up.
that. Yeah, we've done more shows. We've probably done longer than anyone at the moment.
But where that goes to is, like you said, you get to the point where you've got former top amateurs or pros that are fighting each other, and they're at a top
100%.
level. And it's a fair fight, right?
Yeah.
They're not, because some guys, James DeGale's probably an extreme example. So
that's
if you had James
extreme.
DeGale in there with a beginner and he face plants someone, listen, you want to be involved with that?
Like Danny Connor on it next time, do you know what I mean? Like the Tyler Goodjohns, Michael Devines.
Danny Connor's a friend of the show,
so you'll see him soon, I reckon.
I know. He's told me.
So I was on the phone to about half hour ago.
Was you? Danny, I hope you're well, mate.
Big fight coming November, But yeah, no, guys like that, and it's a pleasure having them on, like, because we're doing something for them. They're getting fit again. They're getting like their mental health right. They're getting fit, and they're getting like just getting something off their chest that they want to now.
But also, to your point, I think there should be an outlet for people such as the people you've mentioned to box again. You ain't got to come back against a fresh 20-year-old that wants to fight.
Exactly. If I wanted to box again, what would I do? Well, I can't go amateur. I can't go pro. Like, it's not just because you're not good enough, but your age and your time.
It's not practical, is it?
There has to be an outlet, but I do believe it should be regulated. Yeah. There should be, like, even if the British board regulate it, obviously they'll take money out of that total money, but it'll take out all the crap promoters for a start. It'll make the shows a lot safer. And it'll just give you a regulatory body where you'll see probably a quarter of the shows only go ahead then. Yeah. Because there's shows going on. It's mad. In London, there's probably like 2-3 every weekend at the moment.
It's interesting because, like, as I say, we've all been at bad shows, but you turn up at shows where they're not necessarily high level or whatever, but you see them and they run well. Like, I don't know if you heard the Battle of Battersea was a show recently. No. So it was a mixed rule show. So it was like they had MMA fights on, Muay Thai fights.
Clapham Grounds?
It was in I forget the name of the building. It was in Battersea. It was like off of Lombard Road.
Oh, I know.
So,
I saw that. Yeah.
Really good. Victor invited me down from MMA. Then shout out, mate. He. But it was run great. There was the reason that came to mind. There was two guys on there that I think were in their 50s that had a boxing match against each other, and like they looked like fit blokes in their 50s. You know what I'm saying? They had a fight and it went to a decision. It was close. But my point being, it was well matched. They didn't scumbag it and let one of them get hurt. 100%.
And it's hard to match. Like when you do get fifth, we've had 65-year-old women fight. We've had like 58-year-old men. We even brought someone in from Germany for someone who was like 60 years old for a Masters title, WBU Masters.
So there's hope for me,
But there's little stuff that people don't realise and see. Like we go above and beyond to make sure it's a fair match, but obviously not everyone does that. And that's why we need a regulatory body in place to make the whole sport safer, and it will give people with amateur gyms, pro gyms who sort of look down a bit at the unlicensed white collar, there is an outlet for the right fighters. It has to be the right fighters. You would never want to take away from the amateurs or the pros. But there is an outlet. For example, if I wanted to fight, what would I do? I'd have to go white collar. And you in a couple of years. Do you know what I mean? But,
hey, easy now.
But what do you do if you want to fight?
After this conversation, I've got my back up, mate. I might have to dust off the MMA card and get back down Elsfield, you know what I mean? See what's up.
But because at the moment, like, you're being ageist. By saying, it shouldn't be, you're not allowed to fight.
But also doing things like what you do as well, that will obviously fade out the scumbag side of it and get rid of them mismatches. Because there was a geezer, he was actually at the Nigel Bennett, how we met Kieran Leinster. I'm glad you've done it because I've been on the podcast.
He's a good guy now,
But he was a pro and he came from a white collar background. He'd never backed
he used to fight on Queensbury when it was Queensbury back in the day when it was good, and he's now got Aries gloves, isn't he?
That's it,
and they supply our gloves on our shows.
Do they? Okay, so
they're our glove
okay,
supplier.
Brilliant. Right.
So him and his partner Will, they're going to be really top gloves. Really, like, they're such a good glove and a great brand to work with. Like, they're going to go to the top.
Good.
Wait and see.
Because like with him coming from white collar, I've only seen him that day, and we moved around a bit, like messing about.
Good.
It's Matty, is it?
Yeah.
Put him on FaceTime. Tell him he's on the podcast. I've got him.
Matty. This is James DeGale's nemesis.
This is great. This is good for the podcast. Where you at, Matty?
Matty, where are you? I'm just on the podcast, Matty. That you'll be on soon, there he is.
Matty. How are you, mate? All the best.
We caught him.
I got him. I told you I'd get you on the podcast, didn't I?
Matty, I'll call you when we're done, yeah? Cheers, mate. Bye.
So, I forget who it was. Aries boxing up he was at, weren't we? With Kieran. So the reason I say about him is because he came from a long, I think he had like 16, 17 white collar bouts. That was like essentially his amateur career.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're not allowed to do that though. You have to have an amateur career in the pros now.
Is that right? You have to?
Yeah, I think you have to have a minimum of 5 fights or at their discretion.
Is that right? Because the first one I ever saw that made me go, Jesus Christ, was Fabio Wardley. He come from a white collar background.
Well, I turned Fabio pro. So he had 3 unlicensed fights, and listen, I never thought he was ready, but his coach come down.
Is that all he had? Just 3?
Yeah, 3 or 4. And listen, he was big, young, athletic. And I turned him pro, and he had a nightmare to begin with. Like, I was obviously in Canada with my little girl, so I weren't doing, but I signed him with Dennis Hobson, and I just don't think he got the support he needed at that time because he had a fight, he had asthma, and the fight never went ahead. And then I think it happened 2-3 times, and he was bringing 100 people from Ipswich. And I felt he was like, and his pro debut, I think he had 2 or 3 cancellations.
Did he? Yeah.
And in the end, it was just too much for him. Yeah, and I think he ended up fighting for Mervyn Turner. He went to Mervyn Turner, who was from where he works around Norwich, Ipswich sort of way.
Right.
And yeah, Fabio's just done amazing, isn't it?
Amazing. Fraser Clark's a great example.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
First one, they had a mad war, and the second one, completely one-sided, which happens. It's everywhere boxing.
Exactly.
There's no knock on Big Fraser, but it's like Fraser was on the GB team. He went through 3 Olympic cycles, went to the Olympics.
Listen, if anyone said Fabio was going to beat him, I wouldn't have believed it.
No.
Like, he after AJ and Joe Joyce and that, he was the one, weren't he? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it shows you how good Fabio is. And it shows you it can be done with a lot of hard work.
It can be done.
Listen, I've never done much for Fabio. I turned him pro, but then after his fights were getting cancelled. But I mean, I never would have imagined he would have got to where he was now. But fair play to him.
Because exactly, like I had a friend of mine who was doing a white collar bout, and he was exactly the dynamic we were talking about. He was in his 40s, never boxed before, just wanted to do it, and it was a really well run show. UWC, I think it's called, Ultimate White Collar. They match him well. It was good, you know. But that was like my experience of white collar. Right? So I'm seeing that, and then like obviously back in the day,
Fabio's got pro, from white
and you
collar.
go like, what the fuck is going on?
Different. It's different. Like obviously there's different levels. That ultra white collar, they take people, give them 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's like a charity run thing. Who raises the most money?
Where our levels are, we cater for every level. So brand new novices to, like I say, ex-pros, ex-amateurs.
It's cool, isn't it? That's really cool.
It's good, and I've got the ability to match them as well. That's the thing. So people always worry when they come to us. I'm not going to be able to fight on your show. You've had him fighting. You've had Michael Devine fighting. You've had Kane Corby fighting. But they don't realise that for every good fight, we've got a novice fighter. I won't say a bad fighter because they're good for novices, after 8 weeks, as good as they can be, I can match them with another 8-weeker. Do you know what I mean? So we do cater for everyone, which is appealing.
So this time next year you're going to be at Wembley instead of Usyk Dubois, is it? You're going to take
maybe,
over,
you know, that would be nice. You need sponsor, get a big sponsor or something.
Did you have much interest in the fight of the weekend, or were you just busy with your own
thing? No. Obviously, I'm close with, like I said, Spencer Brown, Goldstar, who runs a lot. He was running Box Park. I was going to go down, it was all planned, go down there. But my little boy had a football tournament, so I had to do that, and I ended up watching it at home. Getting back from Tottenham or Wembley is an absolute nightmare.
That's
for both of them. I always avoid Tottenham and Wembley now.
Do you?
Yeah, unless you got a hotel up there.
Right. See, I had a touch. I was driving up there, and I got a ticket on the Friday before the Saturday, right? So I'm like rushing around, didn't book no parking, didn't book no. Drove up there. I was with our mate Kieran Nicolay. Actually, we was together. We sat together. We was together at the bout. So shout out Kieran. I just spoke to him now actually before we got in there.
I just had a missed call with him.
Oh, did you?
I'll call him on the way back.
Great guy. So he helped me sort of around fight week getting into Box Park and all that business.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he's a great
I think I sorted it for Kieran.
Did you?
So Spencer,
mate,
there you go.
No worries, mate. Kieran, you give it the big time. This is the guy. No, but he's great fella.
And was Aaron there, the videographer?
Aaron...
He was doing the videos.
Might have been. I probably know him by face more than name. I met a million people. Right,
he's Tyler's video, very good video.
I'm sure I met him, so Aaron, if I forgot your name, mate.
Down there, really good guy.
But like, with Wembley getting home, I had a touch because, as I say, I didn't have anything booked. So I just pulled in, car park, 20 quid, boom, thank you very much. And I was lucky, do you know what I mean? I was very lucky because I was looking online, booking, everything was sold out. I thought, fuck it, I just chanced it.
How was the traffic coming out of Wembley?
Other than the first 100 yards, easy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like the first 100 yards of getting out.
It weren't as busy as normal, was it, there?
I don't know, it seemed pretty busy. I don't
know.
Yeah, it seemed pretty packed. I mean...
I know Dubois AJ was busier though, wasn't it?
It was one of them ones though where it was mostly busy for the main event. It wasn't like Lawrence Okoli was co-main against Lorena.
Kevin Lorena.
Yeah. And it was probably half full at that point. Maybe 3/4 full, but you could if you were looking at the crowd, it was gapping.
Yeah, because I was watching, was that Daniel, Usyk's cousin or his friend?
Yes,
Louis Edmondson.
Yeah.
I was watching that fight and it looked pretty dead there.
Yeah, well, it was like, as I say, it started getting busier for Okoli, but still, I mean, maybe 3/4 full.
How do you make Wembley look full though? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Wembley's big,
it has to be the
and especially with them on the floor because like 90,000 without it. And exactly. So with that, it's mad of it. But a great experience. And obviously, listen, inevitably they're too small to see, so you end up watching the screen.
Exactly.
But the atmosphere is brilliant,
of course,
mate.
really.
I'd always recommend them shows.
That was a great fight, that Louis Edmondson one. That was a really good fight. I thought he nicked that, to be fair.
Did you?
Yeah.
We were chatting away. Kieran was biting my ear off, so I didn't
No, that was a big fight for him, and I think, but then was it a Coley was on after, weren't he? I don't think that was the best fight.
It wasn't. It was. I personally, I said this when we was watching it. I feel like he's put on a little bit too much weight for the sake of being a heavyweight, and he looked 100%. A bit sort of ponderous. You know, I mean, he definitely won the fight. It was clear.
Yeah.
But, you know,
being a heavyweight, do you expect a knockout there against Kevin if he's going to compete at that world level? Do you know what I mean?
But when I say the weight, I feel like he would probably better be in sort of 2 stone lighter and just being what he was at Bridgerweight, and just that's big enough. At a certain point, you're big enough.
Of course it is.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's going to hinder you in the long run. Do you know what I mean?
Well, his opponent, I think they called the White Mike Tyson, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, he's a good guy, that Kevin.
Yeah, but he's like. He was, I think he was 230 something, wasn't he? Like,
and he's a lot shorter. Comes in underneath,
Like the reason I say that is because I feel like if a Coley was similar, he's a lot bigger structurally, but I feel like that sort of weight would have suited him better.
100%.
So if he'd have gone, I'd have fancied him a lot more to sort of look excited and be more mobile. It's common sense, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
But he got the job done. So what can you do?
Exactly. That's all he had to do. And then hopefully he'll get a bigger fight now and see how good he is.
Yeah, and listen,
heavyweight.
By the way, it's easy for me to say sitting 30 rows back, and he should have come in lighter. I'm sure he knows more about his body than me.
But
and maybe listen, some of these fights they're sort of almost like dress rehearsals for him too, for the bigger show, right?
Yeah,
so he might be trying out the extra weight and whatever. Like far be it from me to, I'm
I
not
think he knew he was a better boxer.
Yeah, of course.
But listen, we'll see where he goes now. But he's obviously a very good boxer. He's an Olympian as well for GB, isn't he? So
2-weight world champion.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a bad fighter.
That's it. Yeah,
exactly. So but hopefully then. Next fight gets a big one and see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Because the heavyweight division now, if like Usyk's obviously
I like to see him and Fabio.
Right, that's a great fight.
And Fabio,
but like with Usyk being top of the tree, I mean he ain't going on forever, is he? How many fights he got left?
I was hoping this would be it now, but now he's talking about moving on and give the others a chance now. I'd like to see if Usyk's the best, If he goes, then let's see who's the best now.
Well, that was quite a shocking,
Dubois,
seeing him up close. That's the first time I've seen him live. I think I might have seen him years ago. I might be wrong, but I think I saw him years ago. He boxed Joe Joyce in like that Super Series thing. Do you remember that?
He did. At Clapham Ground was that?
It might have been. That's what I'm thinking. I definitely watched it. I can't remember if I was there or not, but I would have been sort of training with Joe Joyce in the club at the time, so I would have probably would have been there. I think I was there anyway. But other than that, I can't remember, right? But like that's the first time I've seen him sort of live apart from that, and like man. Class, like he was so
skillful,
like that
so
wasn't
accurate.
a close fight. It is the reality. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a close fight. Like it was more of a gap between them this time than the first time.
100%.
And he was just like he just controls.
So accurate. He's just he knows what he's doing better than anyone. He
does. And also the other thing I was saying this when we was watching it as well to Kieran. I'll give you too many plugs. I know Kieran. Do you know my mate Kieran? That's my new tagline.
Kieran. Yeah.
But he's like I feel like. I wonder whether he punches a lot harder than you think he does because he gets people waiting, doesn't he?
Like, he don't look as big as he is, but when you stand next to you,
big boy,
I'm a big boy.
Yeah,
he's bigger than me. He's like he towers me. Do you know what I mean? And because he's not Fury's size, he's not AJ's size. He's still bigger than the average guy, but he's just not that size.
And it goes back to what we said earlier. Like at a certain point, you're big enough. Like if that is your chin, how big do you need to be?
100%.
You know what I mean? It is what
100%.
And like in person, he's a good 6'3", isn't he?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
6'4".
Is he
6'4", but you wouldn't think so when you see him against these guys.
But that's
even Dubois bigger than him.
He's standing next to Joshua. Like we've seen
him,
and Fury, you go quite small.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
100%.
He's not small, and he's a lot smaller than Dubois as well in terms of he's a little bit shorter and like a lot slighter really.
So he's a cruiserweight as well,
exactly.
Natural cruiserweight. So he's pumped up now a little bit. So let's be interested now. They're talking about Fury 3, but you never know. Jake Paul might get the shot.
In the ring, he said about Chisora as well, didn't he? He spoke about Chisora.
Yeah, he can't do Chisora.
Can't do Chisora. Well, Chisora's about fight week. Chisora's a bigger lump than I thought he'd be.
Yeah, he's massive as well.
In terms of, I tell you what, I assumed he'd be shorter and thicker, whereas he is very, very built
100%.
man, but he's a lot taller than I thought he'd be. More slim
is
the wrong word for him, but you know what I'm talking.
Yeah,
you know what I'm getting at,
he's
right?
got no fat on him,
right? Exactly. He's a very sort
compact,
of like imposing character. And
100%.
like, in fairness, I know it's a different time and like whatever, but he did give Usyk his closest fight, right?
He did, but it was his first fight, wasn't it? Was second fight,
first
or second heavyweight.
Yeah, first second heavyweight, right?
Yeah, and he did. People still say Chisora won now, but I think. Like you said, it was sort of a practice game for you. I think he's working out the division, working out the way.
Yeah.
And it's different. Obviously, cruiserweight, I would say some of them ain't better boxers, but I mean the boxing comes to it a lot more than just big power shots.
Yeah.
But I think Usyk's adapted very well to the heavyweight. Well, he definitely has
class,
adapted very well to the
Like watching him
heavyweight.
live like that was just like, I know it sounds like you're putting on your knowledgeable hat, doesn't it? But when you see it up close, like it's not up close, as I said, I was fucking back. But when you see it in front of you, it's like it's a different. It's different. You realise how good he is, and like, I think he's going out undefeated, isn't he? Unless he goes on to
100%. I went and watched him in Saudi actually for Fury 2 or Fury 1 it was, and even out there he was just class. He just never gave in the whole, like, even when Fury was on top, he would just come back with stuff all the time. He had an answer to everything, and he's so fit, so dedicated, so skillful, he's so accurate as well. It's just like,
and especially to do that like at the weekend to Dubois, right? Dubois, he's such a big man. He's on a resurgence. He believed in himself.
He's 27. He's peaking now. Dubois, he's so powerful and everything. It's just like, it was madness. I actually thought Dubois could have won.
I did. I said that I was Usyk.
If there was
all
ever
the way.
a chance, it would have been now.
Well, I was Usyk all the way, right? And then 2 days and a day before the fight, I was going, I think Dubois is going to chin him. So I've got to say that now because people heard me say it, so I can't sound smart. But I did, and then but it became clear, the first round, it was like, oh, this is only going one way.
Well, we had him at the gym, and Don Charles was here at both gyms. We had him, and he was so confident. He was so confident. I just thought that's half the battle, the confidence. When you find someone like Usyk, you have to think you can win. And even Don Charles, like, my boys got him, and I just, and it was good. We all fell in for the belief as well. But
well, I was thinking about things as well. Like, Usyk's already beat him. He's sort of almost conquered the mountain. So what's he really fighting? This was my logic, right? It's obviously fucking come nowhere. But like, that was what I was thinking along the lines of.
And even that first fight, even people say low blow, not a low blow. I don't think it was, but even that psychologically, if you use it, must be it can hurt me.
Right. I don't think it was a low blow. And low blow's a grey area, but it didn't hit him in the bollocks, did it? So I feel like it was a belt line, right? So,
100%.
Listen, it is
and
what it is.
Boxers always wear the short side and they're supposed to as well. Do you know what I mean?
And listen, whatever happened. He got the win, didn't he?
Exactly,
And he's the best heavyweight out there, and
of course he is.
For sure now.
He should retire now.
Do you know the one that I wish he'd fought, and I don't want to see him fight now because well, I wish he'd fought Wilder when Wilder was still Wilder.
Was knocking people out.
Because Wilder was a fucking dangerous cat.
He would have got outboxed, but he could knock out anyone.
Exactly. It would have been one game plan, right? But like, I want to see Wilder.
I thought that with AJ as well. I did think that with AJ as well. AJ's another one. He can knock
Fury
anyone out.
I thought they'd all beat him, but it's like he's shown his class, hasn't he? But like with you as well, you do like football things as well, don't you? You do like days with footballers.
Yeah. Even so, we've got a couple coming up with. I'm a Chelsea fan myself. So
ruined the question at the end, but well done, mate. That is the right answer.
But so I've got a couple coming up. Peter Cech, the old guy. Yes. The Clapham Grand.
That's my era.
Doing that.
And that's my area too, so I'll try and get
there you go. So that's 6th of October, and then we've got Ruud Gullit, a bit of Chelsea legend. That's on November the 1st at Epsom Playhouse. But then we've got a couple of little ones like Andy Johnson, Paul Merson, and just around different areas. Merson's a massive Chelsea fan.
He is. He grew up a Chelsea fan, didn't he?
So I do a lot of the footballers now. We've done Zola. I do the Chelsea Legends event. So
you got to give me a text.
100%. I'll let you know when they're on. But so that's my other love football. In Chelsea.
Brilliant, mate. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. The phone's rung about 50 times since
I've
been here, so I'll let you go
mental,
to it.
Man.
At the end, I always ask what football team you
Chelsea.
support.
I've ruined it.
There you go.
Chelsea,
I'll take that,
there
mate.
You go.
But listen, top man.
Good man.
I always finish with a fist up like this, mate. Squeeze the neck. Boom.